How's it going, guys? I'm here at my local park, and I'm not gonna be doing my normal vlog. Instead, I'm gonna get pretty deep with you guys. I'm gonna be doing 2 videos at the very least. One for today, one for tomorrow. Today's is on toxic relationships. Everything about them. What they are, how to identify if you're in one, which can be incredibly complicated because there's lots of different kinds of toxic relationships. And then finally, what to do if you found you're in one and you want to get out. Because at the end of the day, it has to be you who decides to get out. It can't be somebody doing it for you. It has to be you who says, hey, this guy's a manipulative jerk. I gotta get out of here. Tomorrow is going to be on chivalry, and what it really is, and what modern day chivalry is, and how it's not really dead. You're just not finding good people. So, that's tomorrow's though. A train? I didn't even know there was a train over here. Ugh. Ow. A mosquito bit me, and that actually hurt. Anyways. Okay, so toxic relationships. What they are is any relationship that is negative to one or both of the people in the relationship. Typically, a negative relationship will either be one person taking advantage / manipulating the other person, or 2 people who either take advantage and manipulate each other, or just don't understand the fundamentals of normal relationships. So first, I say normal relationships, I mean good relationships. Let's define what a good relationship is. A good relationship isn't one that succeeds all the time. I mean, yes, you have good relationships that succeed. It happens all the time. But it isn't necessarily one that succeeds. You know, just because you don't have a whole bunch of toxic relationships and then find one good one. Hopefully. Hopefully what you have is a lot of good relationships, few toxic relationships, and then your really good relationship. Maybe I shouldn't have climbed a tree. There's lots of bugs up here. Anyways. So, a good relationship is a relationship where both parties are mutual. One isn't... Good grief. One isn't more important than the other. Sure, you have a dominant and a submissive. That's with people. You can actually have 2 submissives or 2 dominants. They work sometimes. But that has more to do with personality. What I'm talking about is, I forget, what was I saying? Okay, so, crap, can't remember. Stupid cell phone distracting me. this is the point in time where I consider ADHD to be a curse. Okay, well, I've lost that train of thought. I'm going to have to just start all over. So you have a good relationship is where two people are... Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, yeah. So where two people are both equal. So what I mean by that is one person doesn't have absolute control over the other person, or one person does not have absolutely zero control over the relationship. So, control in a relationship. Now, it's a finicky thing. Some people believe that other people should have more control in a relationship. Some people believe that it should be split 50-50. And then, of course, there are some people who believe that they should have all the control in a relationship, which isn't what a relationship is. A relationship, whether it be a friendship or, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, fiance relationship, whatever the relationship is, it's a two-way road. That is how they grow, that is how they develop, that is how they stay strong. It is a two-way road. Both people contribute to the relationship. When you have toxic relationships, that is not the case. Toxic relationships, oftentimes, because they manifest in many different forms, have one person with zero or very little control over the relationship, and then the other person with all the control. That's just one example. There are other examples, but I will get to those later. So, let's take an example. An example of this is a relationship where one person is manipulating the other. Now, manipulation is hard to describe, but I will take you through the process of the most simplistic manipulation, which is you scratch my back, I kind of scratch yours. Half-hearted signs of love or friendship or just kindness in return for wholehearted signs of love, friendship, kindness. It allows them to really kind of program your mind. If I show you kindness, you should show me twice as much. And then it also has it to where you don't expect it the other way around, to the point where you just accept it, which shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't. Sorry. Now we have a more complicated form of manipulation. This one's only done by really smart people. And I know because I was trained to manipulate people this way in my last job. For the cause of a children's charity, which is a good children's charity, but nobody wants to donate to a children's charity. Nobody wants to donate to charity, really. I mean, yeah, there are those few people, but only 8% of the world donates. Anyways, I'm getting off track. This form of manipulation is very powerful. And I'm going to tell you how it's done. A lot of times people have it done to them without even realizing it. So, step 1, basic acceptance programming. You see, I like to call this the foot in the door. Everybody on this planet is typically programmed to say no. We have all these campaigns telling us not to do things. So whenever you're having somebody say no and you want them to say yes, start small. And that's exactly what they do. So you start small with your simple yes question. Do you like coffee? Yes. Awesome. Then let's go get some coffee. Well, I just met you. I don't know if I want to get coffee. Well, you like coffee, right? Yes. And you don't find me creepy, right? Yeah, I don't find you creepy. Okay, then let's go get coffee. Now, that's an exaggerated example. You typically don't want to point out your flaws. If you start saying you don't think I'm creepy, right? People are going to start finding you creepy. Just because you've pointed it out to them. That's besides the point. It was an exaggerated example. The point is, you're having them say something yes to something so small they don't even think about it. You know, hey, take this pencil. Okay. Hey, let's drink this coffee. Okay. And then we start programming them to associate yes with a good feeling. So after that coffee, in the sense of a romantic relationship, this isn't what I did for my job, of course, but in the sense of a romantic relationship, the manipulator would turn up the tension without having them say no. They would have it be something insignificant, but it makes it feel significant. Almost passionate moment, if you may. Nothing too serious, something many people would brush off, but it's still there. And it builds the connection without really revealing anything about themselves. Then you get to stage 3. Stage 3 is having the other person, not the manipulator, the other person, reveal everything about themselves. Put them in a weak position. Now, in a normal relationship, this is where it starts to differ from a normal relationship. In a normal relationship, you have the person and the other person finding out about each other on an equal basis. Typically. Sometimes they just kind of, break out the whole life story on day one, and then you're like, oh, look, another life story. Whoop-de-doo. But yeah. But in a normal sense, most people learn about each other on an equal basis. And then that's when they start to find similarities with each other. Now, what the manipulator is doing here is he's getting ammunition. Silver-pointed bullets for your werewolf problems. Just tons and tons of ammunition. Because he's making you reveal everything about yourself while either lying or not revealing anything and just tricking you into revealing more things about yourself. He'll find, he or she, well, because it does happen both ways, will find common ground, and that is what they will focus on. They will focus on that common ground. Oh, you like Star Wars? Did I just turn off the camera? I hope not. I'm gonna check. No, I didn't. Yay. Oh, you like Star Wars? Oh, I really like Star Wars. Oh my gosh, Leia was the best, wasn't she? And that's the basis of the relationship at first. Then we go into stage 4. Now that you've associated them and yes with good, positive feelings, and given them lots and lots of ammunition, they start to take away your support, isolate you, focus on you and you alone, which makes you focus on them and them alone. Now, sometimes isolation isn't just pulling you directly away from your friends and saying you can't have friends. That typically pulls up red flags for most people. A lot of times what isolation looks like is you slowly start to spend less and less time with your friends and more time with them, to the point of realizing, quote unquote, realizing that you need them. You don't need someone in your life. You should never need someone. I mean, a human, at the very least. That need is unhealthy. Sure, you may want them in your life. You may want to be with them. But if they're gone for an hour and you start panicking, it's a bad thing. Once again, an exaggeration. But... And once they get to the need stage, they can hold you there for as long as they want. All they have to do is form some sort of cycle. For the purposes of my job, it was the rebuttal cycle. They say no, you say, but wait, focus here, yes. Until they walk away. Which typically happens a lot faster with that than it does with a normal relationship. But with them, it's probably going to be some different cycle. Look for cycles in relationships. Now, everything goes in cycles. I'm a big believer in that. Everything has a cycle. It's just the way the world works. One thing enacts upon another thing, and another thing enacts upon another thing, causing that original thing to happen again. It's just how things work. But these cycles are different. A lot of times, and I'm just going to use this as an example, one thing happens. The victim of the manipulation does not like that. The manipulator tries to downplay it. It's not that big of a deal. Nothing really happened. You can't prove it. In the case of my job, this is the rebuttal cycle. Like an example, I don't want to give you my credit card information. I don't trust you. I totally understand. But you would agree that 1.4 million children dying is a bad thing, right? Well, yes, of course. And you would agree that a life is priceless, right? Well, of course. Okay, then what's stopping you? And then you hand them the tablet and they sign and put their credit card information down. But notice how I didn't directly confront them about their credit card information. Notice how I didn't say a single thing about anything doing with credit cards. Yet, they forgot about the credit cards. And that's what this person is going to do. They're going to make you forget about the problem. And if you don't forget about the problem, they're going to wait until you do. So, in this case, the person does not forget about the problem. They break up. About a month goes by. They've had a fling, but that was about it. And then they're like, I'm so very sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And I realize I am wrong. Will you get back together with me? Now, Under normal circumstances, if somebody does something to make you so angry at them that you break up with them, you shouldn't get back together. Under normal circumstances. There are exceptions, and there are variations to this. You know, the world is a big place. Some people do feel regret. Not everybody, just some. And once again, they start building that. They start over again. They start from the very beginning of that process. And their end goal is to either use you until they're just done using you and they've gotten what they want, they're over, they're through with it, or to control you completely. Make you totally dependent upon them. And if you're becoming more and more dependent on the other person, dangerously so, that is one of the many signs. When you begin to feel like they control your world. Now, oftentimes, if you aren't isolated, listen to your friends. Don't ignore them. Your friends typically know what they're talking about, especially whenever it comes to regards in you and, you know, the way they feel things will go. It's what humans do. We're social creatures. We analyze things, whether we know it or not. Everybody does it. Some people analyze social things. Other people, such as myself, analyze technical things. The people who everybody analyzes social things, and everybody analyzes technical things, and, you know, logic, and, you know, the way things work. But everybody analyzes everything. Some people are just better at it than others. Your friends have gotten a lot of data on you. They have probably known you for a very long time. And if they haven't known you for a very long time, they've at least known you longer than you've known this person. This person may or may not please your friends. That sounds weird. Okay. Your friends may not be happy with this person. That happens. You know, even in a normal relationship, not all your friends are going to like your significant other, or your boyfriend, or this other friend, because not every relationship is a romantic relationship. But in the cases where very few of your friends like this person, you know, it's typically a bad sign. Your friends and those around you will be able to see manipulation better than you will be able to see manipulation. Which is why whenever I had my job canvassing and, you know, kind of did that whole manipulating people so that way they'll save a child's life, because that's what you have to do for whatever messed up reason. Stopping groups and getting them to sign up was nearly impossible, unless you were a chick and there was just a group of dudes, because dudes are stupid. I mean, what can I say? We are really, really stupid. You have boobs, we love you. So yeah, your friends will typically see manipulation better than you do. When they see manipulation, they will typically tell you something about it. Especially if they don't see any signs of you noticing the manipulation. Now I'm getting to part B of this conversation. I'm gonna check how much time I have left. Okay, I've got a bit of time. I'll have to like re-record here in a minute, but that's fine. It'll probably beep at me, hopefully. Okay, so part B is finding out if you're in a toxic relationship. Now, this is very, very difficult in most cases. In cases where the person is a moron, though, it's very easy. If you're dating a moron and they're trying to manipulate you, it's quite easy. You have to be smart to manipulate people. Now, I'm not saying just go out and date morons, because morons are morons. Don't date them. That's so mean. Okay. You know what I mean, though. If you view somebody as just incredibly stupid, it's typically not a trait people look for in a romantic relationship. Don't date people you view as stupid. There's a difference between stupid and unintelligent, or stupid and uneducated. And I'm pretty sure most of anybody who watches my videos knows that. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Not everybody who is less intelligent than you is a moron. Not everybody who is very, very stupid is a moron. A moron, everybody knows what that is. Take my words with a grain of salt in that case. Anyways. Unless the person you are dating is not that intelligent and they're trying to manipulate you, they're going to be doing a good job. If they aren't doing a good job, you wouldn't be friends / you wouldn't be romantic partners with them. It just wouldn't be happening. You would realize that they are trying to manipulate you. The smart ones are the ones you have to look out for. Which I know kind of puts me under a bus, but I don't care. I don't manipulate people for those reasons. So, step 1. Identify problems in your relationship. If you can't, there's probably a problem. If you can't, that is a problem. And if you can identify lots and lots and lots and lots of big problems, serious, actual problems / concerns, if you feel like you cannot trust this person, that is a problem. Relationships are a lot of trust. Really, I mean, you should be able to trust your partner. Whether that be a friendship or whether that be a relationship, you should be able to trust them. Maybe not with your life, but at least enough to not go behind your back and do things. Whether it be cheat on you, whether it be tell lies about you, whether it be, use your finances for something nefarious. You should be able to trust that person. Now, there's a difference between trust and need that I need to point out here. When you feel like you need somebody, a lot of times you don't necessarily trust them. Because a lot of times they don't make it look like they need you back. If you feel like you need somebody, yet they often ignore or just don't care or are uninterested in you, that's a sign. Not a good one either. Step 2. Identify how much time it's not going to be perfect because our memories aren't perfect, but think about how much time you used to spend with your friends. Now, there we go. So I told you I'd have to restart. Like I was saying, identify how much time you're spending with your friends. If anything has changed, such as, you got a new job, or you got an extra job, or your friends got a job, take that into consideration. If they had that job before you got this person in your life. Okay then. Weirdness. Anyways, if they had this job before... Imagine that they had this job before you had this person in your life. Now, with all that considered, are you spending less time with your friends? Are you spending less time with your family? Do you find that you don't like your friends anymore? Do you find that you don't like your family anymore? If you answered yes to any of these questions, be on the lookout. None of these necessarily means that you are in a relationship where somebody is manipulating you. Which is why finding these toxic relationships can be incredibly hard. Now, if there's yes to all of these, the more yeses you have, the more likely that you are in a toxic relationship. If you say yes to everything, you are very, very likely in a toxic relationship where the other person is manipulating you. Now we get to step 3. You've identified problems. You've identified how much time you used to spend with your friends / family, and how much time you currently spend with your friends / family, if any at all. Now we identify their behavior in coordinates with yours. Now, oftentimes this takes experimentation. And oftentimes this experimentation phase can make you realize, hey, I'm in a manipulative relationship. Because experimentation reveals things. That's why we do it. That's why humans / scientists experiment. So, your experiment should involve testing the relationship boundaries. Now, of course, every relationship has boundaries. Don't do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, and don't do anything that makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. But a very easy way, if you're a guy or a girl, let's say you're a guy. Make a friend who's a female. Or if you're gay, I guess you could make a friend who's a guy. Make a friend who seems appealing to you as a mate, not like as a relationship partner. Make a friend. Just a friend. Nothing more than that. Not like a side chick. Never make a side chick. That's incredibly stupid. People who do that should be slapped really hard in the face. Just yeah, anyways. Not like a side chick or a side dude, just a friend. That's all. That's it. That's all that you want from that person is a friend. Make a friend. If your significant other reacts negatively to this, you might have a problem. Now, of course, your significant other / friend / person in a relationship, the manipulator, a lot of times, even in a genuine relationship, your other person won't like all your friends. It happens. But you gotta gauge it on your own. I can't lay it out for you. There is no perfect, chart. If I could make a perfect chart, this would be a whole lot easier. And I already posted to Facebook. Another train, really? So, make a friend and gauge your other person's reaction. Typically, if they react positively, oh, awesome, you got a new friend, let's hang out together. You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. Typically. If that happens and then your friend just stops hanging out with you, even, that new friend that you made just stops hanging out with you or stops, being your friend for whatever reason, you might also have a problem. So once again, it's a long-term experiment. You can't just, boom, initiation, boom, I see this person has, reacted well to this person. Everything is great, yay. That's not how it works. Sorry. And do other experiments. You might have, weird limits from your other person. This is typically for relationships that are more sexualized or romanticized, depending on how you look at it. So, weird relationship limits. I don't want you spending time with that person. I don't like that person. If you hear that a lot, A, it's probably a bad sign, and B, unless you feel that there is a genuine reason, push that limit. I don't want you spending time with your friend Billy Bob Thornton, because he's a weirdo, and nobody should spend time with him. I happen to like weirdos. Oh, so you like him more than you like me? I never said that. Okay, fine. I just don't want you spending time with him. Okay, well, I'll take it into consideration. And then you spend time with that person. Not not like weird time, not like getting together with them. Just be with that person more than your other person allowed you to be. If they're allowing you, if it has to be allowed to be a friend, there's probably a problem. But, every once in a while, some people just don't like other people. It happens. But they will typically be okay with you having friends, even if they don't like those friends all the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've had this test done to me. It was a while ago, because I haven't dated anybody recently. By recently, I mean any near time. Yeah, no. Okay, anyways. But it was a long time ago. And the person I was dating had this incredibly obnoxious friend. And I did not like this incredibly obnoxious friend. And this incredibly obnoxious friend did not like me. We just didn't get along. But I didn't stop my date from, seeing that friend. I understood that that person was her friend. And that she, was already friends with this person, and whether that person be obnoxious to me or not, it didn't matter. It's not my friend, but it doesn't mean it can't be your friend. And that's how normal people think. Normal people think like that. Just because I'm not friends with that person doesn't mean you can't be friends with that person. If they are, if I can't be friends with that person, you can't be friends with that person, then that person is probably trying to control your life. Oh my gosh, that friend was really obnoxious. Sorry, I just went on a random train of thought, but I was I'm pretty sure she was 6, the friend was 6 years older than me, and 3 years older than my friend. I'm not 100% sure though. We were not friend, we were dating. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I think that's how it was. I might be wrong though. But yeah, incredibly obnoxious person. I couldn't stand this person. Not one bit. Not at all. And whenever I was at the person who I was in a relationship's in house, you know, because we hung out at each other's house a lot, actually. Like, my family went over and talked with their family, and I got to get really close with not just her, but her friends, her family. You know, it was a good relationship. That was like one of my first relationships, and it was a really, really, really good one. It gave me a good example of what a good relationship is. And so this one friend, I just couldn't stand this one friend. And I'm getting off track. Dang it. And I've probably revealed too much, so anybody who really knows me knows who I'm talking about. Like, yeah. Anyways. Anyways. So yeah. You know, make friends, and then also use your current friends. And if your other person does not like your current friend, make them spend time with each other. You know, don't be over the top with it. Don't force them to get along, because it's just not gonna happen. But if your other person says, I don't want you spending time with that person, not I don't want to spend time with that person, it's probably a bad thing. Now, that's about all the tips I got for finding them. There are other tips. You can look online. You know, you have this whole Google thing. And if you're afraid that they're going to search your internet thing and think that you don't trust them, and you shouldn't be afraid of that in the first place, but if you are afraid, go to your computer, Control-Shift-N, search whatever the heck you want, close it. Ta-da! Nobody knows what you just did. Well, assuming you're using Google Chrome. There are other ways to do it, though. You know, practically every search engine has a stealth mode. Anyways. Yeah. And that does not hide it from government agencies and or people standing behind you. So, you know, just be careful. So, now, let's say you've identified that you are in a toxic relationship. How do I get out? Because, of course, they're not going to want to let you get out. And sometimes you may not even want to get out yourself. Build your support system. Go back and talk with your friends against your other person's will if need be. Stop isolating yourself. Reverse the process from the ground up. If somebody wants to isolate you, destroy your foundation. Reinforce your foundation. Go back to your good friends and just be with them. The less you isolate yourself, the more you'll start to see the truth. Their plots will be unraveling. They will be panicking. And revealing things about themselves that you didn't even know. Step 2. If you can't do it right straight up, do it slowly but surely. But start breaking ties to this person. If you can't just say, it's over, we're done, do it gradually. You know, like, you start taking control. You start doing this and that. Maybe they will consider you to be too much effort, or maybe they will try to hold on and manipulate you more. It just depends on the person. If they try to hold on and manipulate you more, you're going to have to resist it. You're going to have to look at what is served in front of you and deal with it yourself. And with your friends by your side, of course. You know, don't isolate yourself, because then you're just falling into their trap. but deal with it yourself. Look at your surroundings, pay attention to your surroundings, and deal with them. I've recently become aware that I still have, because pretty much anybody who went to school with me knows that I have anger issues. Pretty much anybody who's been around me knows that I have anger issues. I mean, especially if they knew me in 6th grade and 7th grade. I was a really, really angry kid. So angry that I would like have tears coming from my eyes and I would want to punch people. And I would like chase after them. I'm like this little scrawny kid trying to chase after somebody and punch them in the face. Like, I remember this one time I blew up on one of my friends because they accidentally knocked my glasses off. They accidentally knocked my glasses off. And I was angry at them for like a month about it. That's not healthy, me. And I've realized recently that I still have that residing just beneath the skin, and I can be a little bit aggressive with my responses towards things that I shouldn't be. And, you know, this was noted by me looking at my environment. And I'm doing stuff about it right now. So, there we go. Problem will be fixed, eventually. Hopefully. Yay. Let me check the time again. Okay, still got some time. Now, I hope it's not deleting as it's recording. That would be really bad. Oh, I hope it's not doing that. Anyways, I'm worrying. So, we have the simple fact that I've lost my train of thought. Dang it. Dang it. I do this a lot if you can't tell. This is what I get for trying to be serious on a video. Okay, so what was I saying? It was really important, and I had something really thoughtful and well planned out, set up. Oh well. I hope you get what I'm getting at. The point, oh yes. Look at your environments, fix them. Because you do something about them, they will change. So, after that comes the final step of leaving. If you didn't just say straight up, it's over, we're done, and then actually mean it, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to say it's over, we're done. Now, if you just straight up did it, it's over, we're done, congratulations, you're stronger than a lot of people. And be prepared to say it again, and again, and again. Because this person isn't gonna want to let you go. Unless they find you to be too much effort, they aren't going to want to let you go. They're going to want to have that control back. Sometimes they find other targets. Sometimes they just keep coming after you. Be prepared to stop their advances. A lot of times their advances are going to be passive-aggressive. They're going to go around you and try to isolate you again. They're going to try to go to your friends and get buddy-buddy with your friends. And sure, if they're making friends with your friends, that's fine. Just don't let them do the same thing to your friends that they did to you. And that's about all I have to say about that. I'm going to make sure that it wasn't deleting as I'm recording, because that would be really bad. And then I'm going to record Chivalry, which I'm going to post tomorrow. This is probably going to be posted around 10 after I do all the editing, because it's a very long video. So, I will see you next time. Have a good day, and just... This video is going out to a certain someone in specific, and you know who you are. And you know you better as hell watch this. Better as hell, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. You better watch this, and you better think about all of this. Conduct your own tests. Don't isolate yourself. Have a good day.